Welcome to the Allen Americans podcast today, and what an honor. First time all year we've done two in one session. Well, that's because we have a great announcement. As you heard yesterday, both Lancaster and Lammon reunited again and back for a second season with the Allen Americans. There he is. He disappeared for a second. We saw just the still photo of Joshua Lammon and Les Lancaster here as well. Boys, first of all, thank you for being here, and good morning to you both.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Tommy. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, Tommy, it's always good to see you, man.
Well,
I wouldn't want to be here anywhere else with Joshua Lammon and Tommy Daniels.
Well, let me tell you something. When we talked about doing this, and I'm glad Marty was agreed to this, is you guys are like a package deal, and I don't care which one of you wants to tell the story, but officially back here with the Allen Americans for another season. But talk about this long relationship on and off the ice between you guys.
Yeah, I'll let the storyteller take this one.
I was just about to say, go ahead, sweetheart, but it started when we were, I think, 17 or 18. We started playing.
Yeah, I think you were 18. I was 17.
Yeah. Started playing together here in Michigan, where we're both from, and we just joined a AAA team together under Brian Burke here with Victory Honda, and played the year together, just kind of got close. Everybody was from Michigan on our team, so we probably really didn't get too terribly close until the next year when we both signed for the Springfield Junior Blues in the North American League, and ended up playing a year, actually 2 years together there, and we lived together there as well. We had the same billet family. We had a great billet family too, so we always had some fun with them. And then obviously Josh and I living together, we got really close, and we actually committed to the same college, Mercyhurst. So we went to Mercyhurst together for 3 years, and we ended up, rooming together our freshman year again, just the two of us. And then our sophomore and junior year, we had a couple other roommates, but we were still together. And then, I ended up transferring to Denver for my last year of college hockey. So we were apart for 1 year. I know that was really tough on the both of us, but, and then, last year was both our first year pro, and Lamb started the year in Florida while, I was in Allen, and I don't know, I think it was like a week or two into the season or something, he got traded to Allen. We ended up rooming together last year too. So it's been a wild journey, something that not a lot of people get to experience, but it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Lambs, tell the story about how you found out and when you called Les and told him you were coming to Allen. That was a great story.
Yeah, like Les said, I started the year in the preseason in Florida, and we were playing a few games, and Florida's affiliate, Milwaukee, sent quite a few guys down to Florida. So, I called Les the night before, and I was just like, man, it's going to be tough. Like, the numbers, it's going to be an interesting situation. And actually, the next morning, I got a text, came to the office, and my coach said I was traded, and he said I was traded to Allen. And it was funny because, like, the night before, Les was like, I'll talk to my coach and see if we need any forwards, which he hadn't at the time. But, it was just kind of a small world. I think I told you last time on the podcast, I almost chuckled inside when he told me I was being traded because Les and I had just talked about it. But, it's funny how it came full circle. And like Les said, it's been 7 or 8 years of being inseparable. So it's been a wild ride for sure, and looking forward to keep it going next year.
Well, you guys, you are a package deal. You're the perfect tandem, the dynamic duo, whatever you want to insert your favorite adjectives to describe these guys, but you're both great hockey players. We found that out last year. Les, you started out the year gangbusters. You were leading the league in points when you got called up to the American Hockey League.
Not a big deal.
He did. I remember we were in Cincinnati, I think, when that call came, right? When you went up for the first time, and obviously when you came back, team was rolling, and you fit right back in with Lambs. He told me at one point he was frustrated. Said, "Man, they got to start going in." Second half of the year for him was unbelievable. One of the highlight reel goals of the season with that overtime winner in Tulsa. both you guys have to be pretty happy about your rookie season.
Lammon might have been the hottest player in the East Coast Hockey League
Oh, yeah.
post January.
Maybe south of the Texan border.
Post January, Lambs guy was incredible. Everything was going in.
Really, he speaks the truth there, and you guys have two of the best hairdos in the ECHL for sure. Look at that! Look at that hair right there. Both you guys look like you're fresh out of the barber chair.
I'm a little sweaty, so it's holding up well for me right now.
Lammon's looking pasty white though.
No, yeah, that's Les does have the tan now. You know, we're buddies on Instagram, so I see him out there all the time on the links or doing his thing back home. What are you doing to entertain yourself there, Joshua Lammon? I know you're what, in DC now?
Yeah, my girlfriend and I actually just closed on a house in DC a few weeks ago. So I moved down here from Michigan. So the last couple of weeks have just been a lot of logistics, getting things figured out. But I actually found a few ice rinks that are open down here. So I've been back on the ice. I think I skated 4 or 5 times last week. So just trying to get the rust off the blades, really, Tommy. There's not a lot of sunshine in the ice rinks right now.
and with all the talk, boys, obviously it's good to hear that sports is coming back. I know there's a stumble here or there with guys testing positive, whether it's in baseball or, even Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR testing positive the other day. So it's out there, but it seems like all the professional leagues they seem like they're just committed to make this happen regardless, knowing you're going to have those things come up. But they feel overall as a whole, if they quote unquote have their guys in a bubble, that they can get this season complete, especially in the NHL.
Yeah, I think Les and I were just kind of talking about this before the call. It'll be interesting to see, how these professional leagues are the guinea pigs for professional sports. I mean, I know like Major League Soccer overseas has been going for a few weeks now with no fans. And, it'll be interesting to see like logistics, like what happens when they do start playing games and, a guy on a team tests positive, like is his team allowed to continue playing or do they have to quarantine for a few days or weeks? So, I think all athletes are optimistic that the seasons can continue, but it'll be interesting to see, how the commissioners and stuff deal with the logistics on positive testing and things like that.
Les, you again, we talked about your great start last year, and no doubt one of the top defensemen in the league. We had a great offensive group, but what are your goals? What are you looking forward to improving on, helping your game, and obviously taking that next step to the American Hockey League for this year?
Yeah, I think, one thing that I learned, being in the American League for a few stints last year is, the game just happens a little bit quicker up there. So, I'd like to make, just like my decision making, just get it a little bit better, definitely get a little bit bigger and stronger if I can. I've, obviously we have a lot of downtime now with all this going on. So I've been, working out 4 or 5 times a week and, I haven't skated yet, but I actually start next week in a league up here. So that'll be fun. That'll be good to get back on the ice. But, honestly, I haven't been doing too terribly much. I like to take my time away from hockey, during the summers, kind of, mentally, hit the reset button and all that. And, as we start to get into July and August and whatnot, I'll kind of, start turning my focus more towards that. But, I don't know. There's just a lot to take away from my experience up in the A last year. And, as it kind of gets closer, I'll start to look at my goals and, what I want to accomplish, come next year.
How about you, Josh, and taking that second year and building on what you started with, that momentum second half of the year? I know you had a chance, I'm sure, to kind of reflect on your season. What do you want to be better at next year, or this coming year, I should say?
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it there. Just kind of getting off to, a hotter start, picking up where I left off last season. I think just kind of building off that momentum. I think sports, especially hockey, is kind of a mental momentum game where, sometimes things are just going right. You might not even be playing your best level of hockey, but, the points are going in, which points aren't obviously everything. But I think just doing the right things day in and day out, it starts with training in the summer. It's cliche, but I think It reflects in the long term. If you do the right things day in, day out, you'll be rewarded, whether it's points or, ice time, et cetera, like Les said, getting a chance to play in the American League and kind of progress up the ladder of professional hockey. So, that's kind of my goal right now. I mean, I think everyone's goal in the East Coast Hockey League is to play in the American League and, obviously the NHL, but, it's a stepping stone is the American League. So, I guess that'd be my goal for this coming season, to get a chance to play in the American Hockey League.
What are things that you learned last year? And obviously, both of you guys have been playing the game for a long time, but what are some things you learned about taking that step to the professional level that you didn't know, and anything that you could pass along to maybe rookies this year, what to expect?
Yeah, I think it's just in the professional level, a lot of it's in your own hands. I know we can't really speak to major juniors, but I know in college, it's very much a team culture. You do everything as a team, team meals, team workouts, practicing every single day. You don't play as many games. So it's just all about, preparing in the gym and off the ice more so than on the ice. We're in the professional level, workouts are kind of on your own. It's just holding yourself accountable and to a higher standard. You get what you put into it kind of thing. You don't have necessarily a superior figure pushing you like a coach or assistant coach in college level. Everything's kind of on your own, and you just gotta take the ball and run with it. It's just a long season. You gotta just kind of ride the wave of the ups and downs. I know in college we only played 30 to 36 games a season, and the regular season in the coast is 72 games. So you just gotta kind of stay consistent day in and day out. And like I said, do the right things over and over again. I don't know if you want to add anything, Les.
No, I mean, I agree with anything there, or with everything there. It's a longer season, so it's typically not going to go, perfect the entire, 72 games for the regular season. I mean, even last year for us, we had a couple ups and downs, whether it was injuries or, just some bad play here and there, or, bad defensive play. It's hockey, it's sports. I mean, you're going to have those ups and downs, so you just got to kind of rebound and run with it.
Either of you guys do anything different this summer, maybe? Because you can't really go on vacation. For the longest time, everybody was confined to their home. Did you guys pick up anything? Maybe musical instrument, video games, anything new that you tried, whether it was a TV show or something on Netflix that you found this year to pass the time?
I think I mentioned last on the podcast, I got into making EDM music a little bit. My buddy from college and I just kind of bought a little keyboard and some software to make some EDM music. We're still a work in progress, nowhere near production level, but it's just a fun hobby, pass the time. It's something I've always been kind of interested in, never really pursued it. But I'm into photography, so I've been trying to take some pictures. I know my brother over there, he purchased a boat. I don't know if he told you, Tommy, but he's picked up a new hobby too.
I did see something about that on Instagram.
Yeah,
well, they must be paying very well in Allen for hockey players these days.
I don't know what bonus he's getting.
Oh yeah, I just got a boat a couple weeks ago, so I've been, as you can probably see, I'm a little sunburnt right now. Been out on the water. I was out on the water for like 7-8 hours yesterday with my family and all that. My mom came in town, so we had a good family get together yesterday. And I've been out. I was out on the water Friday, and then earlier in the week too. So I've become accustomed to wakeboarding and wake surfing and all that behind the boat. So it's it's an expensive hobby, though, I'll tell you that.
Well, the one thing I would like to see, and we had about 4 or 5 guys a few years ago that were musically pretty talented. I would love to see us get the Allen Americans band together this year. Maybe, Josh, you can kind of spearhead that, and I'm sure we'll have a few guys that come to camp that picked up a guitar or maybe have a couple of drumsticks. I'd love to get that going again.
Yeah, I know. Les and I and our roommates in college actually, made it. We played Rock Band on Xbox.
Wow.
And we got pretty into it. So we had a little band going in college. So maybe we can fire up the Allen Americans and see what we got.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact you guys are back again. I was really excited. Not that I didn't have a doubt that either one of you would be welcomed back by Steve Martinson. Both were a big part of last year's success in different ways. And I think the one thing that I loved about last year's team, and I've talked with both of you guys about that, is the great chemistry that we had in the locker room. And something that was maybe missing from the past few seasons is guys that did everything together. They hung out together. There was not really any cliques. We had buddies like you guys, but I was a witness to on the bus, everybody kind of getting together and having a good time, different guys going to lunch and dinner together. And that was the one thing I think that really clicked with me last year, is how much this team really liked each other. And it definitely came across on the ice, because let's be honest, if you don't have some chemistry, it's probably not going to work. You don't have to spend 24/7 together, but I think if everyone works hard for each other, you have the success like we had last year. And we're off to a really good start in building with Chuck so far. Both of you boys, Van Warmer, signed, and all kinds of rumors about other guys who might be returning to Allen this year. So to me, it's I can't wait to get it going, whether it's in October the 16th or later on down the road. We keep hearing the NHL might not come back until January. What would you guys do if we didn't start hockey until the end of December? How would you survive until then?
Oh boy, I honestly don't know what I would what I would do to pass the time until then. Honestly, who knows? I'd probably just be on the water every day or on the golf course. I mean, I don't know if it'd be a big shock. I think if we were to wait till December. I think it'd just be a little bit different situation than what we're used to. We're so used to August or September coming around and camp starting and all that. So if that was postponed a few months, I mean, I don't think anybody really has an answer to that. No, don't know. But see, soon enough, I am excited for the NHL to get some playoffs going here in August 1st. Somewhere in there is when the playoffs would start after camp. Heck, we're already in July. August is not that far away. It's crazy. But that, I think, would be good for everybody, and especially for us hockey fans to get things going again. Well, boys, thank you for doing this morning. Les, as always, man, you're just a first-class guy. Lambs, you and I was a little worried about you driving here today during this, but thank God you made it to your destination.
Oh, safe and sound.
You were doing your little workout today, right? Isn't that what you were doing beforehand?
Little workout.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Tommy. Let them know.
Well, no. Yeah. I shouldn't have said it that way. Shame on me.
Let him know, Tommy. Let him know.
You're big, because it was 90 minutes, right? It was a 90-minute workout?
Oh, don't even.
It's a good workout. I found a trainer down here in D.C. and been putting us through the ringer the last couple of weeks, so it's been good. But I appreciate you postponing the podcast by an hour or so and letting me squeeze it in.
Well, have you guys seen DeChambeau, what he looks like these days? Bryson DeChambeau, PGA?
That's what I'm going to look like coming out of quarantine here.
It's amazing, because he was getting criticized, and his menu in the morning is ridiculous. He has 5 slices of bacon, 5 eggs, toast, and 2 protein shakes. That's his breakfast. He snacks all day. He has said he has a couple sandwiches. Then at night for dinner, steak and potatoes, 2 more shakes. How is that guy doing it? My goodness, he looks like a Mack truck now, but I guess he's proven everybody wrong, because guess what? He won that tournament yesterday.
The results are proving people wrong. He just won here in Detroit yesterday. So, I mean, hey, it's working for him. So,
before we go, Lambs, give us a little flex there. Let's see what you've been building up this summer.
Hey. Oh, no. I'm going to save until the season, Tommy.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, they are back together again. The Mercyhurst connection. Welcome back to Allen, Les Lancaster, and Joshua Lammon. Guys, thanks for doing this today. And, of course, we come to you from the studios of Frito Nation here in Allen. Mark Friedman, great friend and longtime radio, which I call Radio Hound, but now is putting together these podcasts. If you have a small business or even a big business in real estate, you name it, give Mark a call. Mark at FritoNation.com is the email. He will put together a great podcast for you, just like he's been helping us. Les, And Lambs, we appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Tommy, I got one more thing, though.
Yeah.
If you want to see the Allen Americans band get together, maybe we got to set like karaoke or something up at Kelly's one night.
You know what?
And I will express my vocals like you could not believe.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? That sounds, I bet you, I know our girl Floyd, who is the in-game hostess, she sings. As a matter of fact, she had her own band. And I bet you we can find an Ice Angel or two that's got some singing in their past. And here we go. We'll get it going. Sound good, boys?
Sounds good to me, Tommy.
That's all him, but yeah, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Tommy. It's been a pleasure.
You guys are the best, man. Love you both. And thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
Take care. Have a good summer.